Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is HeroQuest, and today we are going to be taking a look at QuestFest's expansion for HeroQuest called the Maw of Darkness. A big thank you to QuestFest for sending me this custom homebrew expansion, which I did take the time to tear open the front of the package, but I have not completely opened it yet, therefore saving the surprise for myself. The presentation is already beautiful, and I actually feel pretty bad ripping this paper. What a lovely handwritten note. Ash of the Quest, in your hand you hold the Maw of Darkness expansion pack from QuestFest. This is a retro quest designed in the spirit of 1989, but intended to be played with the 2021 edition for those old at heart. All ingredients are available as print-at-home components. Visit the gates of QuestFest for more information. I would recommend showcasing this using the 2021 edition, subbing out the heroes and monsters for the 1989 sculpts. Inside you will find all you need to save the Empire from darkness. 4 double-sided tiles, the Realm of Shadows spell set, a triad of new monsters, and thrice you may find new artifacts to aid you. The quest book is set over 8 episodic quests with a bone-chilling story. Tread carefully, brave heroes, for this is advanced and it is likely some of you may not return. We've partnered with Minis 3D to bring you the minis. All URLs will be supplied via email, elven mail. Clever. My greatest thanks, the Collector. Thank you, Collector, for such a lovely note. And we do have a bit in this package. The presentation is so knocked out of the park. Look at the quest book, the Maw of Darkness. Look at this CRT TV effect on it. Wow. We have cards. We do have cards. Oh, they're awesome. They're awesome. We're going to get to those very shortly. We have a tile. That is an awesome looking tile. And then we have tiles, more tiles. Oh my goodness. They're massive. They're massive. They're of wonderful quality. This is great. These are really nice tiles. I would compare these probably more to actually the older tiles, the 1989 expansion tiles. They're a better build and higher resolution graphics than those tiles, but a little bit more in the spirit of those as far as materials than of our new expansion materials. This is a massive tile here. I can see this being used for not just rooms to put on the board, but rooms you can place on the corner of your board, a la Talisman style. What is this? This is a bunch of barrels. This is my new, this is the basement of my microbrewery. That's all this is. And then another massive tile. This is a laboratory of some kind. And then an actual pool, perhaps ritualistic, perhaps something from the depths is summoned. And this comprises the contents of this particular expansion. So we'll take a look at all of this in a little more detail now. Just close the tissue paper up. By the way, I'll put the link in the description below, but you can also pause the video and see if the QR code gets recognized by pointing your phone at it, and then let me know if that worked, because I've always been kind of curious. So this isn't technically an official HeroQuest mat. This is Ian Schofield's beautiful dungeon mats. This is one inspired by, I want to say, Rise of the Dreadmoon. I've had it for a long time. And so these tiles will likely be sized to fit this particular board, and they do. It fits just nicely. This one, for example, fits great in the center of this board. If it does fit on this board, this is actually a neoprene mat, but if it does fit very nicely on this is the exact same standard as the official 2021 HeroQuest board, so it'll fit on the board as well. And then we have this awesome center tile, which this board is actually oversized. We have 3 tile hallways, north and south, and then we've got, to account for the irregularity of some of the rooms in the corner, we have this expansion of the corridor in the side. So this isn't really telling you what this is capable of, but this will fit in the center of your HeroQuest board and link your hallways all together and give you this amazing void, this spatial aura to place in the center. But I really like this room here. Really, really like that room. Love that the style of these all kind of matches together. So you use these all together in tandem, it seems to me. And yeah, again, the sizes are going to work great with your contemporary game. We'll actually go ahead and switch right over to the official board so we can get a better fit of these graphics. And yeah, that just looks really fantastic. The aesthetic of the tiles between the official board and the expansion tile, it meshes really well. The giant braziers, that'd be my only gripe. And that's only because I don't like things baked in. But they may have a mechanical use. And then I really like the way that this one takes and just completely eliminates the center room, opening up the corridors. This is actually big enough. It replaces any of the 4 quadrants. So we have a quadrant replacer. I can't believe I didn't recognize that as soon as I saw the shape of this tile. Replaces the quadrants in any of the 4 corners. And we have 2 of those. So we are allowed to replace any 2 quadrants with these massive rooms. And we can have crazy configurations like this, which might pop up in the quest book. We'll see. We'll see where all of this goes. I would like to unpackage the cards really quick and check these out before we look at the quests in the quest book. We have 3 Realm of Shadows spells. We have 3 artifacts, and we have 3 of these cards, the enemies for this expansion. We'll go ahead and check out the Realm of Shadows spells first. We have Shadow Walker. You summon a Shadow Walker. It moves up to 2 movement dice from your position and can travel through obstacles, occupied squares, and walls. Anything it passes through must defend against 3 combat dice. A successful attack with 1 or more body points deducted also causes 1 mind point of damage. It then returns to the Realm of Shadows. And then Mesmeric Howl. A Mesmeric Howl originates from any revealed square. All living things on the board except the caster immediately move toward it with their normal allowance. At the end of the caster's turn, the howl implodes. Everything in the room or corridor is attacked with 2 combat dice, which can be defended against normally. I'll save the 3rd one so you don't have the entire thing spoiled for you. We're going to take a look at a couple of the artifacts now. Ogden's Hammer. Ogden was known to travel many realms. This hammer was her protector. You may attack 1 opponent with up to 4 combat dice or strike the floor to attack up to 2 adjacent enemies with 2 combat dice each. You may attack diagonally. It cannot be wielded by a spell caster. Really like the multi-enemy attack of it. The Tyrant's Eye, encased in a crystal bottle, is an eyeball, belonging to an unknown beast. A spellcaster may mark this to 1 other hero at the start of a quest. It allows that spellcaster to use the sight line of both heroes when casting spells. This link lasts until the end of the quest. If the wearer or marked hero dies, this item is lost forever. That is a really cool artifact. Actually, that might be a contender for one of my favorite homebrew artifacts ever. The fact that you get a line of sight from any other hero because you have a visual life link with them, that is such a cool concept. Now for the enemies. Shadow Walker. This is an undead creature and vulnerable to holy water. What a really beautifully done card. It has 8 movement squares, 3 attack dice, 6 defend, 1 body point, and no mind points, although there is an infinity sign with the 1 and an asterisk on the 8. And the infinity sign mark specifies this can only be damaged by spells, artifacts, and holy water. The asterisk on the 8 note moves through walls, occupied squares, and obstacles, cannot end its turn on an occupied square. And then we'll take a look at the Stygian Hound, which is also an undead creature and will take up 2 spaces like any regular giant wolf. It's got 10 movement squares, 5 attack dice, 3 defend dice, but only 1 body point, vulnerable to holy water, but doesn't seem to have the same powers and unrestrictions as the Shadow Walker. I can't help but look at the Mimic as well. It's got nothing special about it, but I do love its icon and its graphic here, and I actually think that the attack, defense, and body points and mind points are fair. Moving on to the Piece de Resistance, the Maw of Darkness, a roll-to-move dungeon adventure from QuestFest. Written, illustrated, and designed by Mule, all maps built using HQ Builder. May Slaglock's name echo for eternity. Really, really sturdy book. This has such a sheen to it. It's such a nostalgic, you had trading cards, and some of them would be foil if you were lucky. Superhero, Fleer, trading cards, or Flare. I mean, it's not either or. There was both Fleer and Flare, and they both made like X-Men and Spider-Man trading cards. Never mind all that. Opening the first page. All miniatures are available from Minis 3D. Visit the Maw of Darkness bundle here for the full 80s filmic experience. I knew that's what it was. I knew it. Listen to Mule's music on Bandcamp as you face this dark. Wow, the paper quality is not going to be something that you can experience on camera, but it is. Oh, it's textured. It's textured. That is so cool. About this book. The Maw of Darkness is a retro dungeon quest inspired by the Spirit of 1989. However, all scaling is designed to be played on the newer 1-inch square tiles. In its advanced quest for established heroes, the overlays, spells, artifacts, and new monsters were rigorously playtested and will easily supplement your own adventures beyond this book. In the past, you may have faced licensed cyclopes or abominable swamp monsters, but here they are all abominable cyclopes. You may have faced licensed monsters, but here they are free of licensure, and they are free to gut you like the kipper you are. Evil wizard. There are a number of new monsters in this quest book. Refer to the bestiary on pages 5 through 7. You'll need to familiarize yourself with these mechanics to maximize your gameplay. Crags are more complicated by design and therefore more flexible. Use them well. Bigger is not always better. Storytelling is central to this quest book. To navigate what should be read aloud, follow this rule. Read aloud all text in this font. This font dictates instructions to you, and this is for setups, objectives, and endings. Read aloud as needed. This is brilliant. This is so smart. This is design convention at its finest, and it's design convention that is for designers, which is even more impressive. We will introduce the Collector. He is controlled by the heroes and must be kept alive. He has an attack of 0 or 2, a defend of 2, 5 body, 5 mind, and 2d6 for movement. The Collector is not a warrior, but a traveler of the realm. He researches and finds items of great import. The Collector starts with the Realm of Shadow spells and can collect and use gold, potions, scrolls, and artifacts, but not weaponry like the Spirit Blade or Orc's Bane. He won't carry mundane equipment and has no martial training, so is unable to attack. However, he does not travel alone. Mabel, isn't she beautiful? And the Collector defend and take damage as 1. Anything stood in the Collector's adjacent squares and wanting to attack must first defend against Mabel. Mabel rolls 2 combat dice and must occupy one of the Collector's adjacent squares at all times. Or maybe, is that Mabel? I don't know. I would guess that that's Mabel. But anyways, moving on. Dear comrades, heroes, I am the Collector, an old friend of your mentor. I am not a warrior, but a traveler of the realm. I research and find items of great import. We just read this about you. I write to you with a truth you will not want to hear and a plea you may not answer. Many lives ago, your mentor faced his apprentice in a great battle of magic. Exhausted and with his mana all but spent, he succumbed to weakness, calling forth the realm of shadows. It was a desperate final stand. He could not contain the power, and its maw turned against us, the teeth leaving their mark upon him. If not for the dwarven magi of Reposo, it would have consumed us both. As penance for our folly, the Emperor tasked us in maintaining a vigil, which you have unknowingly until now been a part of. We are losing. The shadows grow long and your mentor fades. He cannot help. The dwarves built a great monastery upon that gateway, and it has stood for many cycles, a sentinel against the dark. But everything is not as it should be. I've spent a lifetime studying the realm of shadows, but I am no hero, so I must ask for your help. If you find forgiveness for those deceptions, please meet me at Reposo. We need you. The Emperor needs you. We have a bestiary. Again, I'm really loving all of the design here. This is just perfect. The font usage, the spacing, the visual presentation, the textured pages, the graphics. Everything is so readable and so sharp. Just masterfully done. Anyways, the Catacombs of Reposo. We have here what look to be a lot of letters on our board. Very, very few monsters. We do have a wandering monster, a skeleton. We have just enough content here to introduce you to kind of what this quest line is all about. So I'm going to spoil the contents of the first quest in their entirety. I'm going to read through the notes. We're going to look at the quest picture, and then we'll go on to look at quest number 2, but we'll try not to spoil too much of the book beyond quest 2. If there are other features past this point in the quest book that I think would be really cool to share, then I will do so. But all in all, we won't be spoiling this whole thing in this video, and rather we're just going to take an analytical look at the first page. The Catacombs of Reposo. There is a manifestation in the catacombs below the monastery of Reposo. Darkness is gathering, and it is rumored the walls themselves have begun to breathe. There is no time to await the Collector's arrival. Enter these hallowed halls and investigate the source of the rift. Some of the passages have been blocked using makeshift items, but they are now sealed into the tombs of the dead and cannot be moved. Before departing, you are blessed by the abbot with 1 passing potion each. When consumed, it will allow you to pass through any stone surfaces for 1 turn only. Use it wisely or risk an eternal residency with the dead. If this mechanic, or these notes, or this map sound familiar, it's because this is actually the Maw of Darkness, the quest that was submitted to the 2024 Quest Jam. So we've kind of looked at this quest in its entirety, except this is the updated version. We will ignore all of these letters until the Maw of Darkness is found. The chests, of course, are empty, except for the dust of the dead. And a reminder that next to the body of a monk, his right half fused gruesomely into the wall, you find a chest. Inside are 2 bottles of passing potion. One is empty, the other may be taken. Our Maw of Darkness finally has an appearance, something that is visible, something that can threaten the heroes and strike fear into their hearts. And when you encounter it, the Maw of Darkness has awoken. It is the gateway to the realm of shadows. The air is charged with lightning. The floor opens up, and you must run! The darkness is loosed, and the catacombs have begun to warp. The crags flee to the walls, but you must escape the way that you came in. The Maw may cast 1 Realm of Shadows spell immediately. 6 undead rise from the Maw of Darkness, but must wait till the heroes finish their current turn. The Maw will refill its 6 squares with undead if they are vacant at the start of every evil wizard turn. These undead may move immediately. The more skeletons you have from expansions and the like, the more you're going to be able to really have fun with the terror concept of this quest. Mostly, we have experienced the Catacombs of Reposo, and just like our overview of the jam entry before, each one of these letters will warp you to a door marked with the same letter. So when you step out of A, you'll appear on the other side. At the spot marked A, when you step through C, you'll appear at the other side. Oftentimes, you will appear in places where you can turn back and go back through the door, warping back from whence you came, but sometimes you'll warp directly into a room that does not have a door behind it, so you won't get that same charity. You'll have to find the alternate path back to the beginning of the quest. It's time for quest number 2, the Western Watchtower. This one is really interesting, and I actually really like quests that make sparse use of the board. They're just really refreshing when you play a lot of quests that use so much of the board and take so much time to journey through and set up, versus the mystery of the exploration involved with not using hardly any of the board. The collector has been granted an audience with the Emperor. He travels with you, heading west to the seat of power. You make camp at the foot of the Western Watchtower. There are many questions and few answers. The Watchtower is the only building that still stands in this desolate place. It is locked, long abandoned and dormant. All around you are the ruins of an old world. You must protect the collector, as only he has been granted a meeting with the Emperor. Darkness falls. You are not alone out here. So we lay out the board, except for the undead, at X, and the contents of W. Here, the Western Watchtower reaches high into the night. It cannot be entered and it blocks your sight line. All of the rooms are little more than rubble, with poor footing that halves the hero's movement. Always round up. In the streets, you may travel as normal. All the walls are low enough to see and attack over. The collector must survive 8 turns, and he offers 10 gold per kill. That tells me all I need to know. The entire board is free reign, except for the central room, which we can't see past, using the line of sight rules as written, at least as far as the center room is concerned, completely ignoring the sight walls on the rest of the board. Something that I see this quest author is using is double letters to represent certain things, and they're really easy to find and see, and the correlation is really easy to make, so I'm just glad to see this. It's just neat. I think more people should use it. The collector carries the Realm of Shadow spells. A, these are the Goblin Archers. They use the same stats as regular goblins, but can attack from range if the sightline is clear. Turn counter is here. You can activate or determine what you're supposed to activate here using the quest notes, and mark to track. This is a special track that you can use to track what turn you're on. Please use a pencil so that you can erase those and replay this quest. This is a really cool concept to have, and it's right here in the quest book rather than a separate component like a card or tracker or anything. This is a true HeroQuest inspired mechanic. I completely believe that this is in the spirit of 1989 because I think this is exactly the kind of thing that the original quest designers would have come up with and the way they would have implemented it. B, at the start of turns 2 through 4, which is marked in the counter, roll 2 movement dice. This number of greenskins, goblin, orc, or abominable cyclops reinforce the attack from here. Goblin archers cannot be resupplied. And then the Maw of Darkness is going to reach out to find us. The fire glows and sparkles before unleashing thick forks of burning embers through the air. The dead have been summoned, and this is turns 5 through 8. The heroes miss this round. Every turn the fireplace attacks anything alive and within the dashed lines with 2 combat dice, defending as normal. Reveal the 7 undead marked X and open the western Watchtower door. No more greenskins spawn at B. Here is our dashed line on the board, and everything to the left of this is now revealed. All the monsters at X, and we open up our Watchtower door. So already, second quest in, the design convention looks good. It looks fantastic. It feels great to read, and it all makes sense. It's actually really, really well laid out, and it seems to be well done. So if it was play tested rigorously, I believe it will play really well at your table as well. We'll just take a quick glance at the Seat of Power to show you the next map. Love that there's a splash of color here. It's not just a map that was thrown together in HQuest Builder. It was actually doctored up after the fact. And just a peek at Quest 4, I'd like to grab a map, here we go, that has one of the large tiles. This, Part 1 Arrival, right here in AA. You have been expected, and a goblin gang runs from the shadows. Once stepped in, the hero's turn ends immediately. All 4 goblins move toward them and can take 1 item each, all their gold or 1 equipment, artifact, scroll, or potion. The goblins will flee back towards the east and west. Love it. The quest notes are not just splattered all over the place or like made impossibly small. The quest notes for all this stuff, although we do have 3 columns here a lot later on in the book, are really easy to read, and it doesn't look like an overwhelming amount of mechanics that you have to really crawl through like some of the quests that were submitted to the Quest Jam. So really, all in all, I just want to praise the author for this and extend my gratitude that so much love and care and time and effort was put in to the Maw of Darkness. This is something that I think would be really cool to play if I could somehow play it with the solo mode from Graveillon. And it's something that I think you should definitely check out. There will be links in the description below. And while you're there, you might be interested in this other offering, which I actually forgot what it was supposed to be. What do we have here in the packaging that refuses to be opened in a clean manner? These are beautiful Prophecy of Talor tiles that were made to supplement your official quest pack from Avalon Hill. These tiles would be used in your Prophecy of Talor game, and these are going to immediately go into my 2021 HeroQuest box with all of my other stuff. As one may imagine, they're beautiful. They are really well done. It's not just good quest authorship, it's also good graphic design. Check this one out. It's so nice. That's so nice. You get to keep your corridor, and you have stairs that go down. And then we get an 8x8 square room tile, which kind of has a sort of vague outdoor vibe to it. This here can be used in any of the corner quadrants to provide a merging together of the rooms there for less restricted line of sight, removing the walls between the rooms. And I just want to highlight and appreciate here the note, use them in your own ventures while admiring the human-made artwork, lush stock die-cut corners, and scratch-resistant laminate. Ah, glorious, glorious, everything about it. I'm in love, and it looks like QuestFest stands to be one of my new favorites in the realm of homebrew. So thank you so much to QuestFest for sending me this awesome stuff. I really appreciate it, and I really hope that you guys will check this stuff out, because I cannot overstate the quality of this. This is not something you're going to understand until you get it in your hands. Thank you all for watching. Thanks again to QuestFest. Please comment anything you'd like down below. Questions, comments, concerns, suggestions. I'm sure the creator would like to see some of this stuff down below as well. And I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your day, and goodbye for now.